Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Josh Thomas here from the Bit Block. Welcome to another discussion video with myself and Rogers Base.
What's going on, Josh, and why am I here today?
You are here because we're going to be talking about the latest disappointment from Nintendo, the delay of Star Fox Zero for the Wii U. This game is no longer going to be making its holiday 2015 release date. Roger, let's talk about this. What are you thinking?
Well, first and foremost, I actually don't necessarily think it's a huge disappointment because I think it could use the extra development time. And actually, I think this delay for Star Fox itself, for the Star Fox game, is actually a good thing. I think it could use some more polish graphically. I think it could use a multiplayer mode. Maybe they could,
Is a multiplayer mode polished, though? That's more than polished. Multiplayer mode isn't polished.
That's adding stuff to it, yeah. But I mean, they could add a multiplayer mode in 4 months, I feel like.
Yeah, so I look at it this way, okay?
Yeah.
I think I was one of the few people, but the atmosphere around the game at E3, based on what I could tell, was nobody was really hating on the game. Nobody really was disappointed with it, but I definitely was. I was like, I mean, even if you go back and watch the reaction video that we did on Roger's channel where we were all sitting around watching it for the first time, you can tell on my face I'm just kind of like, wow, this does not look good, but I didn't want to say anything. And then seeing it in person, it looked a little bit better, but I still... Let's put it this way. I had no ambition to wait in any kind of a line to play a new Star Fox game, and that's saying something, I think, because I love Star Fox. But I thought it was actually pretty bad at E3. I can think of two things positive to say about this game based on what we had seen at E3. One of them is the theme song. I think it's the theme song. The music used in the trailer is really good. I love the music in the trailer. That's great. Yeah. And I think the HD... renditions of characters popping up and talking to you, their little dialogue boxes, I think those looked really good. But literally, those are the only two things that I thought were good about the game based on what they had shown so far.
See, and I agree with you with the characters, because I think the characters look beautiful. But the environments and the vehicles don't look all that great. It kind of looks like a high-res version of Star Fox 64 3D.
Yeah.
And I definitely expected more, but I enjoyed what I played at E3. My biggest concern, and the thing that kind of scares me based on Miyamoto's comments when he talked about this delay, is that they're delaying it because he wants more time to work on the gamepad integration. And right there, to me, that sets off a bunch of, alarm bells. Because I really, really want a regular control mode in this game. I like motion control most of the time. I loved motion control in Skyward Sword. I mean, I'm a huge pro motion control person, but playing it at E3, and on top of that, having the reticle sort of free roaming while you're
I think
moving.
we are so on the same page with this.
Yeah. So it was fine in all range mode, because in all range mode, the reticle goes the same way that you're tilting the controller. So if you're chasing after Pigma, the reticle is going to be right where you want it to be, and you're shooting and it's an open environment. That level was great. The Pigma battle in space was awesome.
You thought that was fun?
Oh, I thought that was great, yeah.
Oh,
just based on the controls of it.
I could not have been more bored in that. Even that was more boring to me than the Corneria level.
Oh, see, I think the Corneria level, I liked when they were in the all-range mission where you could, transform and then beat the boss two different ways. But when they were actually in the arcade style going through the mission, I hated the motion controls on it. And I get that they want to, do something unique with the gamepad, but I'm scared that means that we're going to be stuck using and being forced to use motion controls for vehicle control. I don't mind motion control if it's for, the little items that you have to put out, the little Rob that goes out and, hacks things, or if it's, when you're in the Landmaster and you're aiming up and down, kind of like in Splatoon. But for actual movement controls, I do not want motion controls. I want there to be an option where I can use the two sticks.
Yeah, I mean, I am so pro motion control. I play Mario Kart 8 with a damn Wii wheel, so that would give you an idea. But when I played this game, it was so awkward to try and really get the hang of. I did not like the control of Star Fox Zero at all. It felt like it was becoming constantly desunk. But I realized it wasn't that. It was that they allow you to aim by moving the R-Wing, but you can also aim by moving the gamepad. So you have this, two kinds of aiming going on.
Yeah, it's really wonky.
Splatoon has that as well, but there's a big difference. And that is that Splatoon, first of all, you don't move up, down, left, and right. You really just move kind of left and right in Splatoon. You know what I mean? You're You're moving in a 3D space.
Plane.
Yeah. Whereas, and also in Splatoon, they lock your cursor in the center. No matter where you move that gamepad, your cursor is always in the center. Yeah,
we need
that
the
was.
cursor in the center for sure. That needs to be an option.
I would love to have tried a version of that demo where the cursor was just always locked in the center. That I think would have made just a huge difference.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, Mr. Miyamoto is constantly going on and on about this vision of his where we can play Star Fox with 2 screens. At E3, I didn't see it. Like, I didn't see what he was trying to get. I did not see anything unique with the 2 screens. It was more annoying. I don't want to have to look back and forth at the 2 screens. I just want to play a gorgeous Star Fox game on my TV. I don't want to play the game on the gamepad.
Well, the thing we got confirmed at E3, not to cut you off, but I want to bring this up while you were talking about the gamepad stuff, is the little Rob is the same Rob that was from that Project Guard demo last year.
Oh,
and
was
so
it?
I'm assuming that entire Project Guard thing is part of a mission in Star Fox, and that actually had really good gamepad integration where you were looking at all the cameras on the main screen, but actually checking each camera one by one on the gamepad. It might have been reversed, like you have one camera on the main screen and then all of them on the bottom screen. I can't remember, but I remember thoroughly enjoying the Project Guard demo, and it's extraordinarily obvious that is part of Star Fox. No matter what they're saying, like, oh, that's a separate game. That's BS. It's definitely part of Star Fox.
So here's the deal, though. Does something like that have the replay value that a typical Star Fox mission does? Because it doesn't seem like it would.
No, it seems like a one-off minigame that you would do it like one
if it's
time
a
in the
minigame,
game, that'd be it.
if it's a minigame side thing that you can do, then that's fine. But if that's like actually one of the mission goals, it'd be like cool the first time. But Star Fox is all about like replaying missions again and again, finding secret little coves to fly into and trying to get a better score. And I just can't see that necessarily lending itself to that kind of gameplay. So if that's like a bonus thing in the final game, that's cool. But yeah. But as far as it getting delayed, I agree with you that it needed it. Like I said, I played it at E3 and I was not impressed at all, really. So creatively, this game needs more than a few months delay. I really think that this game needs to be delayed more than just Q1 of 2016. I think they need more time than that. Also, add a multiplayer mode. What are you doing launching a new Star Fox game on the Wii U that doesn't have like an online...
Yeah.
The freaking Star Fox on the DS had online dogfights at least.
It did.
How in the world does the Wii U game not have that? So I would be okay with this being delayed beyond Q1 of 2016, and frankly, I hope it is. And frankly, I hope they delay it so much that they actually make a a Nintendo NX version of the Wii U game.
So that I will say this right now, that's not going to happen. 100%.
It should. If Star Fox has a chance of succeeding, it needs to. This game is going to bomb on the Wii U now, by the way. Unless it's going to make next holiday season, and even then I don't think it will, because that's going to be when there's a lot of buzz for the NX. This was like the last holiday season for Star Fox Zero on Wii U to have any chance of success, in my opinion.
I will say this, though, is I think it's going to get the same treatment as what happened with Tropical Freeze. Because if you remember, Tropical Freeze was supposed to come out like holiday of whenever that was, 2013? Was it 2013? And then it released in like February 2014. I think the same thing is going to happen here. In fact, I think it's the exact same situation because we had a solid release date for Donkey Kong, if you remember. And then they were like, oh, never mind, we're actually going to put it out Q1. And I agree with something you said on the video that I did on this topic last night, where you wrote in the comments that you believe that Nintendo always knew they were going to delay it and just sort of announced that release date to save face until they were finally going to be like, actually, this is a Q1 delay. And I kind of agree with you, because it's exactly the same thing that happened with Donkey Kong. Because if you remember, that holiday for Donkey Kong, what came out? I think it was Pikmin 3, and that was it.
No, Pikmin 3 was like a summer game, late summer.
Oh, no, you're right. It was 3D Land. 3D World or 3D Land or whatever was the holiday game that
3D
year.
World.
Yeah, 3D World.
There's a difference, though, in that, because Donkey Kong is a very well-known video game character that has an audience. So if you delay a Donkey Kong game, it can still be a success out of the holiday season. But when you delay Star Fox, I mean, you, me, and a lot of people listening to this, we love Star Fox, and we're excited about a new Star Fox game. But Star Fox ain't no Donkey Kong. And it's not really the kind of thing that I think it's just not logical to release a niche game on a niche system during the worst period of the year for selling video games or even going to see movies. Like, for Q1 of any year is the worst time to try and sell a video game, or the worst time to put them. For example, in like January through March, that's when you get all the crappy movies that studios make, because they know they're not going to be a success. And it's kind of the same thing for video games. You kind of get the scrub stuff that comes out in the early year. So it's like, because people know that that's not a good time to sell a game. So it's like, don't try and sell Star Fox for that. Delay it until like spring or summer. It's already delayed. So in my opinion, it's like delay it as much as you want in order to make this game phenomenal.
I think they also see. I think the timing is interesting because I feel like Mario Maker online right now is getting a lot of good buzz. I think like Mario Maker is doing very well, right? And I think the reason they didn't announce this delay right now is because I don't think they knew exactly how well Mario Maker was going to do. And I have a theory that maybe what happened is they saw Mario Maker was doing well, thought, okay, this could carry us through the holiday season. We have other games. We have Amiibo Festival and Yoshi and whatever. All this stuff that, like, Yoshi and Xenoblade have been out for months already in different territories.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
So it's like those don't seem new to me. The only two new games are Amiibo Festival and that garbage Mario Tennis, if it's still like what we saw at E3. And that could be amazing. They could polish Mario Tennis and make it really good. Could be awesome. But what I'm going to say, though, is I think they saw that Mario Maker could carry them through the holiday season enough, and that if they wanted Star Fox to have a better chance to succeed by putting it out separately outside of everything else, and really the only game they have scheduled for Q1 right now for Wii U next year is Pokken. Pokken's scheduled for Q1. And in Japan, Q1 has Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem scheduled as well. Mm-hmm. But I think that is going to be a summer game for Wii U next year. I think Megami Tensei Fire Emblem is, alongside Pikmin 4, and then I think come the holidays, we'll get Zelda Wii U, cross-release on NX, and that's what Wii U's launch lineup is going to look like next year, which is still strong for its last year, having Pokken, Star Fox Zero, Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem, and then Zelda, and then Pikmin. I mean, that's a good, strong launch, gear for the last year of Wii U. And I think this year, they had Splatoon. They're probably going to have more DLC later in the year that we don't know about for Smash Brothers, because the Fighter Ballot ends in October. They'll have Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, which I'm sure will sell well just because they're tying in Isabelle to it. They have the Mario Tennis game, and they have Mario Maker to carry them through the holiday. I think for them, that's enough. For the holiday, at least. And then that way they could focus on 3DS with things like Triforce Heroes. And really, what else is coming on 3DS next year? The only thing right now that I remember is Blast Ball, right?
I believe so. Well, it's actually Federation Force. Blast Ball is a mini game.
Well, yeah. But you know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So I think they are slowly... I don't know. I think it's good for the game, and I also think it's good for the release schedule in general. I think this was a good decision.
I feel like creatively the Wii U's holiday season is pretty terrible, to be honest.
It's a piece of garbage.
Yeah, Mario Tennis. Mario Tennis is like the least popular Mario sports franchise, actually. So that's dumb. I mean, I would have been happier with Mario Golf. It's Camelot. I know they just made Mario Golf on the 3DS, but whatever. Yeah. Make it again on the Wii U. That's better than tennis.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's that, and then what? Amiibo Festival. You know what? I'm gonna go on record as saying, and I said this to you before we recorded. I feel like Amiibo Festival might come out of nowhere and be impressive. The game board is lame,
beyond
but
hope you're right. I seriously pray to Tom Nook at night that you're right. I really do. But based on what we saw at E3, I'm just I'm not feeling it. I hope to God you're right, though.
They kept saying the game board was just one aspect, and they were really hammering that in. Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. But that game board looked boring as crap, so if that's the main mode, then yeesh.
This is why we need a Nintendo Direct, ASAP. We need one now.
So that's just it. We recently had a discussion about a fall Nintendo Direct. Do you feel that given the strange announcement of a Mario Maker stage in Smash Brothers, the recent delay of Star Fox, and I think there was maybe one other thing, do you feel maybe we're not actually getting a Direct anymore, or what do you?
That's what I said in the original video. That's what I said in the first 2 minutes. Is I don't think we're going to get one. But I think all these weird announcements are going toward, and now with the announcement, President what's his name, Kimishima.
Yeah.
The new president? Yeah. So now that that's been announced as well, and they already just recently announced at IGN that more Nintendo Directs are going to be coming, confirming that the Nintendo Directs are not dead, just because Iwata passed away, I think we are actually going to be getting one by the end of the year. And I think really we need one to reinstill faith in the fan base right now, because I am not feeling good about this holiday. And I think the thing that I'm most excited about this holiday is Xenoblade, but I know a lot of people imported that game already, so it's and Yoshi is already out in all the other territories, so it's that doesn't seem new to me at all.
Yeah.
Really, they're hedging their bets on Amiibo Festival and Mario Tennis with the hardcore and hoping that Mario Maker will carry them through and maybe some new DLC for Smash.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it sucks because I really want Star Fox to finally have a lot of success.
Yeah.
And I see this game this game is just going to sell to hardcore Nintendo fans, and that's pretty much it. And that sucks.
I'm surprised, though, you think it doesn't have a better chance of succeeding separately on its own in spring than it would have in the holiday season.
In spring or summer, it has a better chance than in quarter one. But I do think holiday season would have helped it. Yeah, I know that there's like, oh, there's competition because of Star Wars Battlefront. No, listen, if you own a Wii U and you love Star Fox, you're going to get Star Fox. You're not, like, nobody's going to say, well, I was going to get Star Fox, I'm going to get Star Wars instead.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, it would have helped it.
Well, actually, I will be playing Battlefront instead. During precious time, I would have been playing Star Fox.
But that's because you have no other choice.
No, I would have been playing that anyway. That game was awesome when we played it at E3.
But would you have not picked up Star Fox Zero?
No,
because
of course I would have. Of course I would have picked up Star Fox.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, people are saying that would have been competition. It wouldn't have been.
No.
The logic doesn't work that way. If you love Star Fox, you're going to pick it up. And if you didn't know what Star Fox was, it wasn't like you were going to be like, oh, what's this Star Fox game? I guess I'll, get this instead of It doesn't make any sense. But creatively, I think it's good. Obviously, that the game's getting more time. Whether or not they use that time wisely to really make that gamepad seem clever and smart, I don't know. I'm really hoping for that. Like we talked about earlier, you said the game doesn't really look visually that great, so hopefully they use that time to polish up the visuals. Hoping for the best.
The one thing, though, I think maybe, the only other theory I saw out there on why they did this that I've seen that maybe could potentially be true is about a week ago, we had that weird listing for an amiibo that didn't have anything connected to it. It said it was part of a bundle, and that's all we knew. It didn't say anything more about that standalone amiibo. It didn't say anything else. A lot of people suspected that was going to be Roy or Ryu from Smash Brothers. But I kind of think now, along with this delay for Star Fox and us not finding out any information on that amiibo, I think maybe that amiibo that was set to launch, or maybe it wasn't ready to launch, like they didn't have the manufacturing capability to do it, was that transforming R-Wing Landmaster thing that we talked about in some other discussion that we just recently recorded.
I mean, I don't see Nintendo delaying a $50 million game just so that they can sell a toy alongside of it.
I am pretty sure Star Fox did not have a budget of $50 million.
Well, it's millions of dollars. Let's say $25 million. I mean, it's being developed. Yeah. Oh, no. Do you know how something like Star Fox, a Nintendo game? Yeah, that's going to cost a lot of money. Like, how much do you think The Legend of Zelda for Wii U is? That budget's got to be huge.
I'm sure, but $25 million's a little high for, I think, Star Fox.
It's two studios working on it. It
doesn't matter.
Platinum and Nintendo.
No way, that's too high.
I don't know. I'm going to question you there. I'm going to say it's probably about 20. And nevertheless, I lost track of what we were talking about.
Yeah.
But anyways, I mean, I think in closing, I think we both agree that it's nice that the game's getting more development time because it definitely needed it. Based on what you liked it more at E3 than me. I did not get any enjoyment out of it.
Yeah,
at E3.
I enjoyed the all-range mission. I thought it was great. Yeah.
Not me. I actually think those were even worse than the on rails, harder to control.
Well,
it was like rubbing your stomach and patting your head at the same time. It just didn't feel comfortable.
No, but it felt better in the all-range missions to me with control-wise because the boost was on one of your control sticks. And you were moving with the motion, and the reticle followed wherever you were aiming, so it felt much more natural there. Whereas, when you were controlling it and moving and aiming, all with the gamepad on rails, it seemed like it was too much. It felt way too cluttered to me.
Well, we'll see what the final game has to offer. Hopefully they add multiple ways to control, and hopefully they keep that option to just use the Pro Controller, like Mr. Miyamoto said at E3.
And hopefully they add multiplayer.
Yeah, if it doesn't have multiplayer, then no matter how great the single player is, I'm definitely going to already be disappointed with it because I'm spoiled by even Star Fox 64 3D has a pretty decent multiplayer mode. And then Star Fox Assault has an amazing multiplayer mode as far as I'm concerned. So a Star Fox game without multiplayer at this point seems very strange to me, especially one that had to be delayed. Like a delayed Star Fox that still doesn't have multiplayer, it's kind of crappy.
Yeah.
Roger, where can people find you?
Well, this is kind of depressing. That's a depressing note to end on. But you can find me at Rogers Base everywhere on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Miiverse, all over the place. And actually, I'll link Josh to the discussion we did on this before, so you can kind of hear those live reactions about Star Fox that we were talking about earlier. And I also did another video kind of on this topic talking about why this is a good thing that I put on my channel recently, so I'll put that in the description as well.
Sounds good. I think... my feeling at this is that it's fine that it's delayed, but it's super annoying that Nintendo still hasn't learned their lesson, and they keep giving us release dates for games that always get delayed. I mean, it was Donkey Kong, Tropical Freeze, delayed. The Legend of Zelda Wii U, delayed. Star Fox, delayed. Everything just gets delayed, and it's like, just don't tell us when you're going to release it. Like, don't give us a date until you're, like, very, very sure that it's going to launch. Hopefully,
so
Nintendo
one last
learns
question
that.
I have for you. One last question.
Okay.
Do you even think Mario Tennis is coming out this holiday?
Yeah,
Because
Mario Tennis will come out because they'll just rush it out. I mean, that's an easy game. It's Camelot. They've made like 3 or 4 of them at this point, and they'll just be, there will be no real like innovation to it. It'll just be, hey, it's tennis. You can play it online, and here's some crazy courts, and there's Mario characters, and boom, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be fun, but I think that'll definitely make the holiday.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. Be sure to leave some comments below and let us know what you think of the Star Fox Zero delay. Hey, 0 was referring to the percentage of it actually launching on time, Roger.
Wow, great one, Josh.